be anything that can be done to him.
No.
And if we talk about impeachment, we've seen the issue of numbers in Parliament. What goes on? What happens now?
You see, we are in a dilemma. And that dilemma, anytime you have a constitutional democracy and there's a dilemma, there's a constitutional body that has failed to perform its role. But because of that separation of power itself, there is no arm of the government that can direct another arm of government to perform its constitutional role. The judiciary rules on matters that are brought before it. The judiciary cannot impeach the president. You see what I mean? It can't impeach the president. When the president does serious violations of the Constitution, the requisite body that is supposed to impeach him is Parliament. Because that's the legislative body. Now, when Parliament fails to do that, the judiciary's hands are tied. You get my point? There is
no matter how loud the head of judiciary shouts,
no matter how loud the head of judiciary shouts, and no matter what he does, there's nothing that the judiciary can do about it. Now, the head of state is not above the law. But again, within the Constitution itself, it says that you cannot bring the head of state to court on a, either criminal or a civil proceeding while
in power.
Still in office. No, not when he's still in office. And it's on the basis of that even matters like ICC and the rest of it, technically, you cannot arrest a president of one country and take him to you because that law is there. I don't know if Javas remembers, but there's somebody who went to court in the US to try and get Kagame to be arrested while he was in the US. And the courts ruled against that and said he's a sitting president, head of state.
The French indictment.
Yes. And he's a sitting head of state. And it's only when he's not in a head of state. And that's why Omar Bashir right now can be taken to court because he's no longer head of state. He's no longer head of state. So we have dilemmas. When you push for independent institutions and independent arms of the government, you have to understand that independence goes three ways. You can't force Parliament to legislate and impeach somebody, or legislate in the manner that is befitting the interest of the country itself. Nobody can force Parliament. That's why I think Amaraga overreached his own powers in saying that the Parliament should be dissolved. You know what I mean? There's no court that can rule that Parliament should be dissolved.
Yes.
If I may just finish. That was an element of judicial activism. With all the respect I have for him, I told you I have a lot of respect for him, but that was overreaching it a bit. In any case, the independence of the legislature itself allows the legislature to create its own timetable. Even if within the Constitution you have, we created so many laws to operationalize the Constitution last time. We did not complete our roles in doing that. The subsequent Parliament was supposed to complete the job that we failed to do, or rather we didn't have enough time to do, including having what do you call a referendum act. We do not have a referendum act even now.
If you had time today, we would not be having this.
Even if we don't have a law to guide how a referendum should be conducted in the country. We don't have that. You see what I mean? And then even the issue of the Electoral Commission itself, the IEBC, the IEBC. And what a serious quorum in the Constitution constitutes within the IBC. It's a bit silent on that.
You see,
and so we do have problems. We do have problems in basically, and we have problems because those independent institutions, independent arms of government have failed to perform. We're talking about, as Javas put it, we have a terrible, what they call judiciary right now that has devolved corruption. Independence has been translated into, they can go also on their own independent ways in which, in the manner they determine cases. You have a matter that essentially has one ruling in the court and a high court, somebody else to go to another
And
judge in the High Court,
yes.
and overturns that,
Yes.
and you go to that, and you see these things. This is ridiculous.
It's a mess. We have very little time left.